For the next part of the project, we are going to add our diagonal lines into our 2-inch squares. So we're going to start by making a diagonal line from one corner to the opposite corner. And I'm going to line my ruler up, and I'm only going to do it inside those squares. You don't have to go into the white spots. So I'm going to start my line, go from one corner of this square to the other corner, and make sure your ruler is actually lined up so that your line goes from point to point. Skip that opening right there and do another line on the inside square. Skip that opening and do another diagonal. So then you have a diagonal line across the center of your square. I'm going to do the same thing the opposite direction. Line up my ruler in the corner and to the opposite corner, and just draw a light line right into the center of each of my 3 squares. So now you have an X in the middle of your square. Now I'm going to come to this square and I'm going to divide it with diagonal lines. So this time I'm going to start with my ruler being in the center of this, the very center. Line my ruler up and connect it to the center square on the top to that top corner. So my ruler will connect from the center to the top corner of my center square. And I'm going to move my pencil to the bottom of this square, and I'm going to draw from the bottom of that top center square to the corner of that top center square. So now you'll have a line like this. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. So put my pencil in the center, line it up to the other side of that center square, come to the bottom of that center square and go to the top corner. So now you have 2 lines in your center square like this. We're going to do that same thing in each of these squares. So I'm going to rotate my paper, line up my ruler, center of the big square to the top corner of that center square on the top. Put my pencil on the bottom of that square and connect to that corner. Do the same thing on the other side. And then you have a square that looks like that. Rotate again and do the same thing in that next square. And that line is a little off. And if your lines get a little off, go ahead and erase them and draw them again. One more square to go. And now your paper will look like this.